Hello, my name is Carmel, and I just want to share with you a story about forgiveness because, a lot of people say you have to forgive and you have to do this and you have to do that. And the first reaction is, why should I? They've been so cruel and nasty to me. I don't like them at all. But forgiveness is really for you. It's not for other people. And I would like to share a story of my mother. And I just thought she was very difficult. She had a very bad temper. She was angry all the time. She used to hit me a lot. And I left home as soon as I could and went to the big city. And for years and years, I carried a lot of resentment towards my mother. And when I was about 40, I went to a conference and I thought, well, I really have to forgive her. And so we did work around that, and I accepted her for who she was. And guess what? All the way from Australia, when I got home, was waiting a big bouquet of flowers. I could not believe it because my mother's never sent me anything. And I phoned her and said, why on earth did you send these flowers? She said, I have no idea, but I hope you enjoy them. They cost a lot. And so I knew that on an energetic level, these things really work. So after that, I decided, instead of concentrating on all the negative things she'd done in my life, I would write out the positive things she did. Because I'd been telling myself a story about how horrible she was. And so I wrote down that she put 3 meals on the table each day. She did this, she did that. And I phoned her up and said, I just wanted to thank you. And she was really shocked. She said, what for? And I said, I wanted to thank you for, bringing me up, supporting me, doing this and that. She broke down and started crying. We had a 2-hour conversation where she told me everything bad about herself and her life, and I listened. I was astounded because it's all the things I wanted to take up with her and never had the courage. And there she was, just letting it all go and telling me. So after the 2 hours, I said, well, I really forgive you for everything. I hope you can forgive me because I held a lot of resentments. And she was so shocked. And she cried and said, can I die now? She was 88 at the time. And I realized that she didn't know how to love. And she said, nobody's ever forgiven me or said that I was okay. And then she said, I must be okay, mustn't I? If you like me and it's all right. And the next time I visited Australia, because she'd always rejected me, I'd go in with a big present and a smile, and she wasn't very welcoming. And she showed me a sweater she'd knitted for me years ago. She'd spun the wool from a sheep's back, spun it on a spinner, and she'd made this beautiful sweater for me, which had been sitting in a trunk for 20 years. And I said, for heaven's sake, why didn't you give this to me? And she says, oh, because you wouldn't have worn it. You're a bit too uppy-puffy, a bit snobby. And I just felt reduced to tears, that she really did love me. She just didn't know how to show it. So love for her was putting 3 meals on the table. It wasn't saying I love you or anything like that. That had never been spoken of in our family. So that was really lovely. And for the last few years of her life, we had a really sweet relationship. Anything she did, I just totally surrendered and accepted her. And she died with love in her heart, and she died in her bed at 94 years old. So forgiveness for me, when she died, it wasn't as painful as it would have been because I had resolved our issues and we shared our love. And so it was a beautiful passing. So forgiveness, I think, is for us and for the other person. It releases both of you from our stories and the past and any pain and trauma. And it means it brings you to the present and you can both move on with your life. It truly is very beautiful. So I would recommend trying that and doing that with your own mother, because if you can't get things right with your mother, your life will never go right, because you will have children, you will have daughters, you will have stand-in mothers, all your friends will be just the same. So please try it and let me know what happens.